Hi friends, welcome to my channel PC Geo Kimberlite. During this virtual lecture, we are going to see today's important topic, uh, classification of igneous rock. A classification of igneous rock based on BSc first year. BSc first year as per the UGC syllabus. Now this is the syllabus which is everywhere will be accepted by the UGC, which has been made for the credit based program. So the very important one, classification of igneous rock. We are going to see today. Now, in this classification, we are going to see which type of classification. You can see those which are very important as per the FIBSC. Those classification we have been added over here in this particular lecture. First one, we are going to talk on textures or grain size or the occurrence of the igneous rock. Next one, on the color of index. Next one, SiO2, that is a silica content. Fourth one on feldspar minerals. Fifth one, silica saturation minerals. Fifth one, alumina saturation. Then the chemical composition, and the last one is on the base of dark color minerals. So on these particular basis, we are going to see the classification of igneous rock. Again, a pictorial representation which we have been given you on which parameter we are going to discuss today within this video. The classification of this is the very important one, the sentence which will be there. That is the whatever the classification of the igneous rock, it is a very difficult task, and that is the important one. That is, it is a confusing aspect. Why it is a confusing? Because the historical reason, that is the whatever we have the partial historical reasons are because of the partly due to the nature of magma. So whatever the magma is there from inch to inch, if you make out, if the magma is coming on the surface, we find out that the composition of the magma is going to varies. Then the whatever the criteria which are there, which have been working on that temperature, pressure conditions, and how you are going to classify. So what are the potentials are there on that basis? So that is become a huge task for the classification of igneous rock. The whatever we have here is the magma, that is the molten rock material from where these igneous rocks are formed. Whether this magma is present on the surface or whether it is present below the surface, and what will be the temperature pressure conditions are there, then what will be its chemical composition, and how it is going to varies from range of composition. Make out in the granite itself, we'll find out that is a vast variation is there in the granite. So that will be there. So we have to see that how this variation is there, what will be the composition is there. That part, that part will be taken. The variation in the chemical composition. That is the not an easy task when you're going to make out the classification, and there are some limitations with which are there when you're going to make out the classification schemes. Yes. Now the first simple most foremost that what we are going to make out is the texture or grain size. What is the texture? Texture is nothing but the internal arrangement of the crystal. The how the minerals are arranged within the crystal, that will be called as texture. Similarly, what is the grain size? Whatever the grains which are present within the rock, that will be the grain. So here what we are going to have on this, we are broadly divided into two categories. One we called as very fine crystals, then the second one we called as coarse crystals. So on the basis of that, we have called them as extrusive rocks, intrusive rocks. Those rocks which are crystallized from or which are crystallized from the molten lava. That is, the magma is erupted through the volcanic pipe and it is erupted on the surface, and that magma liquid the become now called as the lava, which has cooled down rapidly. So there is a rate of crystallization is very fast as compared to at a greater depth. So here we get very fine crystals. Then this type is our this type of classification or this type of rock which is there we called as the extrusive rocks, the outside. out of the earth, that is on the surface of the earth, which have been crystallized, and those rocks which are crystallized at a greater depth, where the rate of cooling is slow, and due to that, whatever the crystal will grow, they will be the coarser one. Then that particular rock we called as intrusive. So here we have the first simple classification is on the basis of the grain size or texture, that is the intrusive or extrusive. So here I have been shown that is on the greater depth we have the intrusive rocks, and where on the surface we have the extrusive. The magma is erupted, so that is the diagram we have been shown. So that will be going to make out that part. So that is what we are going to make out. That is the prominent on the basis of the grain size. And the grain size also we are going to make out the depth which is there. So on the grain size, in addition to the intrusive and extrusive, we're going to have another classification is there. That will be third classification or a second classification which will be there. That is called as those rocks which are crystallized on the surface. That we called as the volcanic rock. Those rock which are having a very coarse one, they called as the plutonic one at a greater depth, and in between what we have the rock which are crystallized below the surface, they are called as hypabasal. So there is another classification is there where we are going to have the volcanic rocks, then we have the plutonic rocks, and then we have the uh, plutonic and hypabasal. So volcanic, what are there? They are especially the felsic and intermediate one, having the porphyritic texture, means some of the crystal which are crystallized at a greater depth, and with this crystal the magma is erupted on the surface, then the remaining liquid, residual liquid, will crystallize around that large grain, then that we are going to get out the porphyritic texture. That is what we have the quality of volcanic rock. Otherwise we just, if we don't have the magma which is having crystallized the crystal inside, directly the magma is poured on the surface, directly we are going to get a very fine crystal also. So that will be there, that whatever the admixture will be there, sometimes we get a crystal 100%, but sometimes there will be glass also there. So both will be there, or sometimes we have the coarse crystal which are crystallized at a greater depth. With that the magma is erupted on the surface, and we are going to get that particular things. Next one is based on the color index. Whatever you're going to see the color in igneous rock, there are the three types, or normally we call it as light color, medium color, and dark color. Light, medium, and dark. So how these colors have been formed? Because which minerals are crystallized in that, and what will be the composition is there. If the composition of silica is more, then automatically that particular silica or feldspar, then that particular mineral's color will become the light color. As the percent of the silica and feldspar is decreased, the color become darker, and still darker one. So on the basis of that, we have the color which has been formed. So there will be the color. Say example, the feldspar and quartz, they will be going to represent the light color one, and the mafic mineral which are there, in that we have pyroxene, olivine, and amphiboles. Like olivine, augite is there. So these are the important mineral which are the ferro, or if you don't want to give the names of here, Mg and Fe content. That is a very important one. Is on this basis we have the plutonic, hypabasal, and volcanic. So here we are giving you that particular thing on this criteria, that is the plutonic at a greater depth, the hypabasal, it is the intermediate stage where we have the grain will be the intermediate one, and the volcanic is the very fine, and sometimes we have the glassy one. And very important one about the texture is, whatever the texture is there, it is mainly based on what will be the rate of cooling, what is the history of that magma, how that magma has been cooled down, and what are the composition. Next one is the composition of the magma, and from that composition what will be the minerals are crystallizing. And in that, what we are going to have, if we are going to see the history. So example, if the magma is having 2000-degree temperature, then what is happening, as the temperature started cooling down, some ore minerals are going to form in the, because there will be the ore minerals are going to form, and in that whatever we have the rock forming mineral, in that the first one olivine is going to crystallize at 1800, then we have Mg olivine, then Fe olivine, Then there will be slowly pyroxene, amphiboles, like that the minerals are going to crystallize. Then we have the mica. So this is the way the minerals have been crystallized. So here the very important one, the history of the magma, how the magma is pulled down. Second one, what will be its composition. Third one, which minerals are crystallized. That is the very important one. On the basis of that, we are going to get the various types. Yes, here we have the hyperbasal or subvolcanic. Below the surface, this particular intermediate rock is there, and it has been normally going to give you in the form of dike or sill. It will be there, so it will be a medium grain rock. Whereas plutonic, it is on the surface where we have very fine, or sometimes we have the glassy material, glassy texture. We are going to get into that particular one on the basis of the color index. That is going to sometime the misleading also as compared to the grain size, but it will be a useful important tool will be there, how the magma has been cooled down, what will be the volcanic rock composition, and how this will be the nature has been make out, that we are going to make out about that particular rock, whether the rock is felsic or mafic. So that will be the very important one. Now on the basis of the color index, the first important one is a light color rock. Those rock which are light in color, they are called as leuco. Leuco means light, and cratic means color. Leucocratic, light color rock, and that indicates the magma, that is the acidic magma. Whenever you're going to see any rock which is a light in color, that we normally call it is the acidic magma. And once you are indicating that what is the acidic magma, then we have to see what will be the ratio of the felsic to mafic mineral. Felsic means silica and feldspar, where felsic means Mg Fe content, that will be the felsic one. So here we are going to see that what will be the proportionates which are there. So whenever you are going to make out that the light color rock, there will be the felsic minerals are more as compared to what we have the mafic minerals. So that is around 70% we have the felsic one. Next one is mesocratic, that is the intermediate color. What we have, the medium color, that is the meso means medium. So mesocratic, that is the medium color rock is there. And so here what we are going to have, the whatever the dark color earlier in the leucocratic, they are 30%, but now their percentage from 30 it is go up to 60%. Then we called it as a mesocratic. Ultimately, the whatever the percentage of the acidic material is there, and that is the felsic mineral, it is reduced, because it will be from now 0 to 60%, whereas here we have 0 to 60%, that will be there. So the mafic minerals are increased, felsic minerals are go on decreasing, and this is the intermediate stage where we can get 50% felsic mineral, 50% mafic mineral. Then we going to get a color as a medium to the rock, and that is called as a mesocratic color. And the third one is called as melanocratic. Melano means dark. When a color of the rock is dark in color, then it is called as melanocratic, where the whatever the dark color minerals are there, now above 60% to the 90%. Sometimes we have say 100%, but there will be one more category we are going to make out in that, that is the hypermelanocratic, where 90 to 100% we are going to make out in that hypermelanocratic. So leucocratic, mesocratic, and melanocratic, where the color index will be based on what we have the mafic mineral. If the mafic mineral is less than 30%, it is a leucocratic. If it is 30 to 60, it is a mesocratic. Then we have 60 to 100%, it is a melanocratic. That will be there. So hypermelan, that is, I'm going to tell you that this is the within the melanocratic. We have, if the percentage more than 90%, then that particular melanocratic rocks will be called as the hypermelanic, very dark. That is called as a very dark color mineral. So here we have the leucocratic light color, that is given an indication. As the percentage of the mafic mineral go on increasing, the color will be go on become the dark and dark. So leucocratic, mesocratic, melanocratic. Same way you can see the light color rock. Now it is become medium, dark, and in the lower side still dark is there. So leucocratic, mesocratic, melanocratic and hypermelanocratic. So that is the classification based on the color index. The next classification is there, that is based on the chemical composition. What is there? That is that we are going to see the silica content, SiO2. When you're going to see the SiO2, based on that, we are going to make out a classification: acidic, intermediate, basic, and ultra basic. Now here the percentage is given. If when we going to say acidic magma or acidic rock, when the percentage, weight percentage of that SiO2 is more than 66%. If the SiO2 is more than 66% by weight, then that particular rock is called as acidic rock. If it is between 52 to 66, then it is the intermediate rock. Then 45 to 52, it is the basic, and below 45, it is the ultra basic. So we have acidic, intermediate, basic, and ultra basic rock. That is the simple combination which we are going to make out. And somebody is going to make out only the 3-1. Acidic above 63%, then 45 to 55, that will be the basic one, and the third one will be there less than 45. So this is also one of the classification where acidic, basic, ultra basic, or acid, basic, intermediate, and ultra basic. So this is the classification. So there are the number of classification has been put forth by the many geoscientists which are there. So we are going to give them the selected one. Now the next one, very important one, felsic mineral, based upon the feldspar. Now in that feldspar we have two important minerals. One is calcium rich, that is the plagioclase, whereas the second one is, it is the orthoclase, it is alkali rich. Na and K will be there. So these elements are dominating. So orthoclase is flesh red color, whereas the plagioclase is grayish white color. So these two minerals, if their dominance is there within that magma, then automatically the color of the rock will become a gray color or pink color. Say example, a granite, a gray granite is there. Then directly we say that if the gray granite is there, it contain your plagioclase. If the pink granite is there, directly we will mention that it contain orthoclase. The whatever the feldspar is there, that is the orthoclase is present. Then how you're going to write it in the classification? When you're going to write, if the gray granite is there, we will write that gray granite, the what is the composition of the plagioclase? It is a calcium rich. So calc will write first. Now orthoclase is very less in that. Yes, though alkali will write calc alkali series rock. So that means the examiner is understood that in that the plagioclase is dominated in that granite. Second one, if the orthoclase is dominating, then we'll have to write alkali cal series rock. This is the way you are going to make out whether the rock contain plagioclase, whether the rock contain orthoclase. On the basis of these two, gray color and pink color, you are going to see of that particular rock, then immediately we will classify them as alkali cal series rock for pink color, whereas for gray color rock we will write as the classification cal series rock. Clear? Yes, we'll go to the next one. Next classification is again based on silica saturation mineral. This on the basis of that, whatever we are going to make out, the classification is there. That is the classified into three categories. That is the based on silica, how much silica is available within the magma. Whether, say example, if you are drinking tea or coffee, and if you just don't have the sugar in that, yes, that is we don't have a sugar, then what we can say, it is the unsaturated. Then that particular coffee is not tasteless. Yes, don't have the taste because sugar is not there, so it is a tasteless. So if such thing is going to see in a rock when silica is very less, so there we have avoids the feldspathoids are there, corundum, these particular minerals are there. It is avoid of this particular silica, then unsaturated. Then this particular rock or mineral we call as unsaturated mineral. When we going to have the saturation, say example, instead of don't have sugar, you added 1 teaspoon of sugar into your tea or coffee. Then you started eating. Now you'll feel that some little bit taste is there. So still it is the saturated one. It is the saturated one. And the third one is oversaturated. Yes. So next one where we have the silica will be more, say instead of you're taking, say example, one teaspoon you're taking, now somebody is added 2 spoon or 3 spoon, then what we have, the taste will become very high. So saturated, undersaturated and oversaturated one. Yes, there is a slight mistake is there in over mistake it has been done. Saturated, oversaturated and undersaturated, these are there. We are going to make out the classification. Similar, next classification is there on the similar content, silica saturation classification. Silica oversaturated, excess silica or excess chord is there, then that will be the granite will be given as a best example. Where it is only saturated, then we have the chords is there. So that is a diorite rock is given as a representative. Oversaturated is a granite where more than 65% will be the quartz is there. Less than that we are going to have, then it is the diorite is there. And undersaturated we have the nepheline cyanide. So that is also one classification. There you can see now oversaturated silica quartz is more, then quartz is say example 50%, and less than that it is there, then it is the undersaturated one. Is next one classification, alumina. When the alumina is saturation, like what we have the silica saturation, or we have seen the SiO2 saturation, similar one on the basis of the silica we are going to have the per aluminous and per alkaline. These are the three classification, and this is a we are going to use a what we are going to use a formula that what if we are going to make a rock as a per aluminous, then in that the whatever the Al2O3 is there, it should be greater than the total amount of CaO, K2O and Na2. It should be greater than that. Then it is called as per aluminous. Excess of alumina is there on CaO, K2O and Na2. Total amount of this, if it is excess, then it is called as per aluminous. Whereas aluminous is there, then the Al2O3 is equal to Na2O plus K2O. It is a fifth. Say here we have one molecule, so here also one molecule. So like that will be there. Then it is the aluminous one. It is given. I am giving you the just example that the 50-50% they are there. So the next one, per alkaline, that Al2O3 is less than the Na2O plus K2O. When the Al2O3 in a rock is less than Na2O plus K2O, then that particular rock is called as per alkaline. So here we have per aluminous. I have given you here, that is a alumina rich. Then if it is decreased, the aluminous, then still it is decrease the alumina, then per alkaline. So this is based on the alumina which will be there. The next one, the next category what we are going to make out, felsic, intermediate, mafic and ultramafic. This is the division we have been done on the basis of the difference in chemical composition as per the Bowen's reaction series that has been done. Felsic mineral, intermediate mineral, mafic mineral and ultramafic. Felsic means where silica will be more in that. Intermediate, it is somewhere in the range of 60 to say 50, less than 55 to 55 to 45. That will be the mafic one, and less than that we have the ultramafic. So this is the combination is there. You can see here. This is a description is given. Where is the felsic? What exactly? So here the felsic one is represented by the granite. If you make out the composition, now I can see the composition of the silica is more. In that particular one, that will be the more one silica. But as you see intermediate, it is go down, still go down, and ultra basic you can find out silica is very less. So that is the way you are going to make out. Say example for felsic, we taken as a rock as a granite representative. For intermediate, diorite we are taking. For a mafic, gabbro we are taking, and ultramafic, peridotite. These are the important one. And a similar one, which are the important mineral which are there in the felsic. You can see in this granite, you can see on the top, potash feldspar is a rich, then the quartz, Na rich, then biotite. These are the mineral. If you come to the intermediate, you can see potash will be decreased, quartz is there, potash feldspar, And I can see the amphiboles will be increased in that content. Now mafic one, you can see calcium rich is there, plagioclase and pyroxene and olivine. And in the ultramafic, you can see very large portion of olivine, then pyroxene, then calcium rich so this is the way feldspar is going to decrease. So that is the way you're going to make out. So this is the intrusive rock, granite, diorite, gabbro, and peridotite. That is below the surface they are there. But if you see on the surface, extrusive type, the whatever the granite and rhyolite, both have the same composition. Granite will crystallize at a greater depth. The same magma erupted on the surface, we are going to get the rhyolite. Both have the same composition. One is volcanic, granite is volcanic, whereas rhyolite is the plutonic, and whereas rhyolite is the volcanic one. Similar one, diorite is plutonic, andesite is the volcanic. Gabbro is plutonic, coarse grain is there, and whereas basalt is a fine grain. And similar one, peridotite at a greater depth, and uh, comatolite will be there, which will be the volcanic one. This is the way classification will be given. And I have just enlarged this diagram so that you can get the percentage very clear of these feldspar SiO2 content, and you can see with respect to that how this only in this two feldspar is there. Here we don't have the potash feldspar, but here we have the plagioclase will be abundant, that is calcium rich, and I can see biotite up to here it is there, then amphibole, then the pyroxene, olivine. So this is the way minerals will be there from felsic, intermediate, mafic, and ultramafic rock. Now, based on the next one on dark color metals, we have the non-ferromagnesian minerals, that is the light color, and when we have the dark color, ferromagnesian mineral. You can see now the percentage is given: granite, diorite, gabbro, and peridotite. These are the protonic rock, whereas rhyolite, andesite, basalt, and comatite will be there. That is the volcanic, the corresponding rocks. And you can see the percentage here. Felsic mineral more. If you compare here, still felsic is more. But now, what is happening? The percentage of the dark color mineral go on increasing. Dark mineral is still more. So this is way, and you can see the percentage of dark mineral how it will be increased. So felsic, intermediate, mafic, and ultramafic, they are broadly divided into two categories: non-ferromagnesian minerals and ferromagnesian minerals. Yes, that is the same description which we have been given here. Thank you. Have a nice day. I have discussed here today the various criteria for the classification of igneous rock based on FIBC. This is the for classification is there for FIBC. But next, when we are going to have the video, in that we are going to see in the TYBSc the classification which is there, all detailed classification which are there, which have been as per the UGC syllabus will take out. Hope you enjoy and have a nice day. If you liked my video, yes, press the like button, share it, and subscribe my video. Thank you. Have a nice day.